There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
You see, all these frog monsters got to do if they want to be accepted by society is you put a hat on them, put a suit on them, give them a little fishing pole, like dress them like an old timey sad clown, and put them out like the old figurines. You ever? My grandmother had a sea of figurines of little frogs,
Little
fishing.
frog figurines, huh?
Yeah, and little trolls. They're
something.
fishing. Everyone's fishing. I guess it's because frogmen are casual.
Well,
Because every
yeah.
time they see them, they're just hanging out.
That seems
They're
weird,
just
though.
standing by the road.
Yeah. Let's see. Marcus, are we good to go? All right, that's Marcus Parks. I'm Ben Kissel. We're joined by a fellow who said the word cute 4 times recently, which is the most I've ever heard him say the word cute.
You guys got any water to wet my skin?
Why is your skin so...
I'm a frog man.
You're a frog man.
I'm just being a frog man. You know,
Really?
You guys got any lily pads? I'm just asking around for a friend, but
Well, just dip your toes in the water there, frog man. You can get wet.
I'd like to apply for a barista position.
You want to work here at Starbucks.
He just throws up just bile and
yeah.
like swamp muck all over the Starbucks fucking counter.
It turns out it tastes great in the coffee. You're hired, frog man.
It's just a tough economy.
It is a tough
to
economy.
get a job.
It is a very tough economy. All right, so obviously that was Henry the Frogman Zabrowski.
I'm going to try to get through this whole episode without saying Holden instead of Frogman.
Oh, that's
You know,
good.
because it's so hard. It's a go-to joke, of course, you know,
Right.
because Holden McNeely, he's the lizard.
Lizard-ish,
He's fucking
sure.
disgusting.
That's right.
You know, and it could have just been, most of these are just sightings of the McNeely family.
It's possible.
Harvesting for bugs next to dirt roads.
It's actually interesting, though, because most of the McNeely family, very handsome.
Very handsome.
attractive.
God,
Handsome.
Avery is a dreamboat.
Well, he
Avery,
just
of course,
gets, he
Holden's
has the
older brother.
genes from his grandparents who were first cousins.
Yeah, there was some trickle-down gene there, some frog genes. But, of course, we're discussing the Frogman because today's subject is regional monsters.
Yeah, going
And-
down the country, see what monsters you got. Oh, hey there, Wyoming, you got a giant horse? Good to see you.
That's just a big horse, yeah. And it is interesting when you say country, and that seems to be the place where most of these sightings happen, very rarely in urban environments.
I think these people, it's because the satellite dish companies don't get out to the coal mining areas of West
Right.
Virginia, so they have to make fun little shows for themselves.
Okay, so of course, today's first monster that we're going to discuss, the Loveland Frog.
It's just really like Loveland. Because
Yeah.
Loveland, I mean, where is this? This is which area of, this is Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Loveland,
so
Ohio.
Well, there's not a lot of love happening in Ohio, right?
Oh, there's a bunch of love. Winter months, a lot of snuggling, a lot of hair fibers, tingling other hair fibers. No, people
I love
in Ohio
people
are
from
lovers.
I love people from Ohio.
Yes.
You know, but it seems like you're going to get a lot of frog men from Ohio. Beautiful
Yes.
women, frog men from Ohio.
Yes, well, ladies enjoy a nice frog man from Ohio, like you
Give him
mentioned earlier.
something, all right? Because if not, he's just gonna be fucking a chicken.
That's right. And a frog having sex with a chicken, there's no place for that in my America, Marcus. I don't like it. But Marcus, let's go down. Where did the Loveland Frog begin? How did this myth start?
Well, at approximately 3:30 a.m. in the year 1955.
At approximately 3:28 a.m. I remember the time exactly because that's when I was going to look for frogs, as I did every Wednesday.
a businessman.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this guy he's in from out of town,
What
so
kind of
he's not
business-
expected to see these kind of frogmen everywhere.
What kind of business do you think he's a part of?
I don't know, the ass factory.
Ah, yes.
Making fake butts. Hey, we got the most primo fake butts that the Ohio Valley can stand.
Isn't that something? And 2 black guys, because going door to door in Ohio selling fake butts, that'll get you punched in the face. All right, so Marcus, give us some info on the Loveland Frog.
So the businessman, who shall remain nameless to this day,
I love a good anonymous businessman.
he claimed
Part of the Bilderberg Group. That's what this
perhaps,
is.
yeah.
This is a G7 thing.
I think you're giving him quite a
I'm
bit
sorry,
of
I'm
credit.
sorry, I'm
He
just
was in the
jumping-
middle of the woods at 3:30
I
in the
haven't
morning.
even heard the story yet.
He claimed to have witnessed 3 bipedal quasi-reptilian entities congregating by the side of the road.
Did he literally say those words to the officer?
Yeah. And was he immediately arrested and booked for meth abuse? Because he was high.
Oh, back in 55, he was on the bennies.
Yeah.
What's the bennies?
Oh, those would be amphetamine tablets.
Yeah, Benzedrine. It's what like all of Jack Kerouac's things were written on.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It isn't. Though.
That's what I have to get up. But back in the day, people used to have so many more drugs just lying around. Cocaine next to the sugar
People
jar
used
when
to
he had a bad toothache.
That was like a time when you'd have like a jar to be full. It's just like, hey, I got your yellow jackets, got your buzzers, got your weavers, you know,
whippersnappers, things like that.
I got to make it from Cincinnati to St. Paul overnight. Give me some bennies.
Take me some of these
you
health
want,
pills.
Yeah, you want some Weezers as well. That'll be good for you.
So the man pulled the car to the curb and witnessed these three creatures. He observed them what is estimated to be about 3 minutes.
Okay, and now how big are these creatures? They must be
4
of a
feet
relatively
tall.
large
3 to
size.
4 feet tall, yes.
3 to 4 feet, okay.
Yes, he said they were covered with leathery skin, had webbed hands and feet,
And
frog-like.
You can
Is
also
it sure
measure
that
them
these
in
are not-
McNeely units.
Yes.
So each one is 1 McNeely unit long.
You get one every 10 minutes.
Yeah. Is he certain that these weren't just day laborers who were up really early? Do we know?
Well, he claimed them to. He said they were distinctly frog-like in their head region.
Okay.
And he claimed that they bore deep wrinkles where there should have been hair.
Oh,
And just
interesting.
here's what's very interesting. Just as the man was about to speed away, because apparently 3 minutes is enough, one of the frogmen produced a wand.
Yep.
From who knows where,
Really?
and he started flinging it above
And
his
he
head.
started shooting sparks everywhere. He had a
Yes.
Roman candle.
Isn't that
A
something?
giant frog got into some fireworks and somebody left in a shed, and they're just like, they thought they were just saying hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Or maybe there was 3 tiny elderly children. Like, what's that disease where you're a child
The
but you
Benjamin
look
Button
old?
disease.
Progeria.
Yes, perhaps 3 people with Pejoria just out there looking for help,
And
flagging down the only
Well,
kid
is
they
it just
saw.
a racial slur to call people with Bajoria frog heads?
Is that it? This man's a racist. Typical businessman.
That's another thing, is that all of these regional monsters have names that could definitely just be applied to any race you want.
You goddamn frog head.
And it is said that the scent of alfalfa and almonds were left behind.
They
in the
smell
area.
like almonds.
Yeah.
Ooh, why would he leave?
Yeah, it sounds nice. It sounds like a Bath and Body Works over
That's
there.
beautiful. Yeah, the frog scent.
And then as the frogman was waving the wand, a small scent of mucus came out of the frogman's mouth.
A scented mucus.
A small hint, excuse me.
Oh,
a small,
I see.
a hint of mucus came flowing from his mouth.
You only want a hint. You only want a dash of mucus with your regional monster.
That's all you need.
I just think he saw big ass frogs, right?
He probably saw some
3
big
to 4
frogs.
feet tall with a wand.
With a wand, that's where it turns into a Hummel figurine.
Right.
That's where it basically turns to one of those, what is it, elegant memories? What are the name of those dolls with no
like
faces?
What
Precious
is it?
memories.
Precious memories. And I'll tell you, those children were praying a lot.
I'll say, if you
Every
want to
one of
get
those
me back
figurines.
into spending some money and some precious memories, make them all frogmen, and I'll do it.
That reminds me of my parents when I was growing up. They had a brilliant idea to get rich. All they did was collect Hummels, thinking that they were going to skyrocket in prices. This is pre-Beanie Baby phase.
Oh, yeah.
And turns out nobody wants a Hummel anymore. So
Nobody
they have a
wants-
bunch of trash.
Nobody wants weird childhood memories frozen in porcelain anymore.
No, it's very terrifying. But they thought there was going to be a huge market for these.
But I also
wastes
love
of space.
But I love it. So before we'll jump into more details of Loveland Frogmen, but I love these regional monsters because
yeah.
you also get something about each society, like what animals they find to be scary. Because it's like
And also
you are
what
Marcus is terrified of frogs.
I hate frogs. I almost didn't want, like, when I was doing the initial research for this, I saw Loveland Frogman and some of the lists. I was like, nope, moving on.
Also, especially
Moving on.
like if I look at when I was looking at drawings of the Loveland Frogman, me and the Frogman have like the same body. It's
Yeah.
just like tiny, round, no butt, and then like what my dad looks like. My dad looks like a little turtle because he's just getting uglier and uglier every year.
Right.
And I'm gonna look the same. I'm gonna turn into a Loveland Frogman pretty soon.
Well, as soon as you start hanging out on the highways of Ohio, we'll know the transformation is complete.
Yeah, you guys see my wand? Yeah, I got a wand.
Keep on
he's
driving, honey.
away. You know,
That
one day
is
I'm going to
just-
see one of these businessmen, and I'm going to sell him a whole TV show story on us, little Cynthia Frogman, my daughter. All right, let's go back to the bogs.
Cynthia Frogman, my daughter. And what a wonderful, beautiful daughter she is.
She's just going.
Well, you should have seen her mother.
I just wish you could be attractive just to get us out of this goddamn swamp.
Now you want to sell your frog daughter for sex? You want to get her into the human sex frog man trade?
Hey, Cynthia, go over to the man. Go over to the Hey,
have
this
him
is
lick
my
ya.
daughter, Cynthia, and I gotta say, she's got that frog. He's got that never quitting frog vagina.
That frog
You gotta
pussy,
do it on
yeah.
on those long business trips.
I mean, I'll tell you, that sounds like the 1950s version of a fleshlight.
Just
a
a-
nice, soft Cynthia the frog.
Just a hint of mucus.
Yeah. Oh, you want more mucus? Cynthia, spit it up. Spit it up real good. You got it inside. I think she's choking. Now.
Oh no, that's just the sound she makes when she loves you.
Oh, well, she must love me a lot.
20 years go by.
Uh-oh.
No frogman sightings.
I
We don't
can't
s-
believe.
Unbelievable.
Until almost 20 years. Until 1972, early March, police...
Jimmy's burning the
San
American
Francisco,
flag.
women got
Yeah.
flowers in their hair.
Is that a chick with no brassiere on and her flappers are just in the wind?
Stand it! I want to grab her.
Unbelievable.
Two police officers, or at least actually one police officer sees this. The second police officer comes later. One police officer reported that he saw a 4-foot-tall frog-faced human-like creature with leathery skin. This is what the report said. The creature was 3 to 4 feet tall, 50 to 75 pounds, leathery skin, possibly wet, matted hair on its body that made it look textured, possibly a tail, a head and face like a frog or lizard, and could leap over the road's guardrail.
And she sounds like every Italian grandmother I've ever heard.
Possibly wet.
Maybe wet. I would say, giving some...
We don't have the tactile evidence, but
Yes.
I tried to touch it and it bit me, and now I'm slowly turning into a frogman myself.
She tried to sell me a bunch of her famous rigatoni. It seems like we have some very high-class individuals discovering the frogman. Usually, it's more local yokels who are toothless and ready to shoot their shotguns at anything that
Let's
doesn't
not
look
go
exactly
ahead
like them.
and not say these police officers aren't yokel locals yet.
I mean, they are men of the law. They are men of the badge.
But no, it's true. Two police officers saw it. We have this one police officer saw it. It jumped over the rail, right? And then another one shot at it, right?
Yeah, another one shot
what
at
you
it
do.
after an anonymous farmer reported sighting 4 bizarre creatures while inspecting his fields.
I don't mean you'd scare your police officers, but I prefer to have my name be left out of this, lest I get revenge from the other frogmen in the forest. But I
That's a
believe
good
I saw
thing.
one, and you should go shoot it in this big frog-shaped head. Well, I gotta go. Corn's rotten.
Well, you should have gone a little while ago then.
And a new detail was added to the frogmen by this farmer, for their mouths were wide and filled with sharp teeth.
I just really think this is people seeing a different race for the first time. I really do. I'm having a tough time here with the frog man.
Ever since that golden dragon opened up in the corner of Clarence and Witherspoon,
We've seen frog-
we've been seeing frogmen all over the place.
However, it must be
Yeah.
noted that the original policeman recanted his story
He did.
later on. He recanted his story. He said, "It was and is no monster. It was not leathery or had wet matted fur. It was not 3 to 5 feet tall.
Oh.
It did not stand erect. The animal I saw was obviously some type of lizard that someone had as a pet that either got too large for its aquarium, escaped by accident, or they simply got tired of it. It was less than 3 feet in length, ran across the road, and was probably blinded by my headlights. It presented no aggressive action."
Well,
So-
he's just because he shot at it. So he
Right.
saw a lizard in the street and he shot at it.
Yeah, well, that's what
He
you
went-
do when
Everyone
you're-
made fun of him. I mean, he came back and it's like, it was 5 feet tall and I had to shoot at it. You know, like,
Yeah, Ohio PD. I mean, top of the game. It seems like what was I gonna? I had a thought, but then I lost it.
But what is the more reasonable story that someone just had a Komodo dragon in the middle of the farmlands, Ohio, and just
No.
let it go?
He was forced to recant the story. The frogman got a hold of him in the middle of the woods. They started tickling his feet and said, "Do you want to keep your goddamn job? Well, then you better change your tune, buddy."
stand the tickling.
That's right. Tell him it was a normal lizard, would you?
I'll tell him anything you want.
Exactly.
Being tickled to death is its own special hell.
Especially by a bunch of frog people.
Yeah, he's just sucking on your toes, going
Ugh.
like, "This is my daughter. This is my daughter."
I don't know why you're still trying to pawn off that disgusting Cynthia Toad woman. Frog daughter, I'm sorry.
It's just something the way she swings them hips. Oh, melodic and hypnotic. It's like a bobblehead of a hula woman.
A bobblehead. Yeah.
You know, now that I think about it, being tickled to death by frog people is my worst fear.
That's your biggest fear.
Right behind prison.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
See, prison's like the more real fear.
Yeah. You're the frog in prison, and they just fuck you, and they do a bunch of
Yeah,
wild
when everyone
things.
starts calling you Cynthia Frogman, it starts
Yeah.
passing you back and forth between cell block C and D.
Well, no, you know what you could use less of? Them teeth. Why don't we just fuck them out of your brain real quick now?
You know what you could use more of? Mucus. Let's get you crying.
Let's get you crying. That's very prison lube.
Why are
The
you
old
being
tears.
stingy with the mucus?
That's not good.
So let's move on to a much more famous monster.
But real
that-
quick, anybody dead from the Frogmen?
Nobody
Any
dead.
violence
No.
from the Frogmen?
No.
They just saw Frogmen.
They just saw Frogmen.
It's just a fun
Frogmen.
thing. A lot of these stories are, most of the stories are like, and I looked up on the hill, and I saw him and it ran away. That's like every one of these stories. So there's not a lot of, they didn't get an interview with the frog.
Okay. Well, maybe we should go there. Any of our friends in Ohio that maybe live in Loveland, Ohio,
Please.
go try to interview the Frogman in the woods. I'm not sure exactly where they're located, but if you see a road flare or something like that, stop. And if it turns out it's just somebody who has a flat tire in desperate need, keep on going. They're not a frog person.
No. But if you've also if you ever happen to have dated a frogman, please
Right.
get in contact with us because we'd love to have an interview with him.
Yes, indeed. And I'm sure our emails will be lighting up with that because I'm sure there's a lot of ladies in Ohio who have claimed to have been.
I think I
penetrated
may
by a
have
frogman.
dated a frogman, but in the end, I think he was his name was Brandon and he was a Buckeyes fan.
Yes.
So this next guy is someone that a lot of people out there probably would have heard about, especially if you're really into aliens.
Yep.
The Flatwoods Monster.
Well, this is my favorite kind of regional monster because you hear a lot with Mothman as well. A lot of these stories are often paired with UFO sightings. I love it because to me it supports the idea that there is a grand paranormal theory that like aliens and these monsters and elves and fairies and shit are all the same thing. Don't look at me like I'm crazy.
I'm not even looking at you. I'm trying to.
I looked away.
Yeah, you gotta look away.
I have a series of beliefs.
The one fun thing about this with the Flatwood Monster, he has a little scooter with him. He's got his own little
He's got
mobile.
like a Dr. Robotnik,
Yeah.
like a
Green Goblin
Professor
type.
X thing.
Yeah. Which is very fascinating.
Well, the first sighting of the Flatwoods Monster was in 1952 when a group of kids saw a flying saucer crash into the land out of the sky. They went to go check it out. Of course, they saw a large pulsating ball of fire.
Uh-oh.
Which is really cool because but this was also witnessed by a bunch of people. This was seen by like a couple dozen people.
Some
they made a
adults
big
in
deal.
there.
They called the police station because they thought there was a downed aircraft, and so a bunch of people went out to go see what they saw.
And the great show on the History Channel introduces us to an investigator who has been working on the case for 20 years.
20
He
years.
hasn't had a wife in 20 years. And
But he's
his
got a
wife-
lot of files on the Flatwoods Monster.
He does have a lot of files and a lot of sand. I think he's just got a lot of dirt in those canisters. He's collecting all the dirt from the scene.
Well, of course, these kids, though, they were the first on the scene. It was a group of 3 kids. They detected a pungent mist in the air that
Lot of
burned their
smells with
eyes
these
and
monsters.
throats. A lot of smells. In fact, we see that a lot with Big Feet as well.
Yeah,
a
he
lot
smells
of
like
Big
shit.
Feet. Yeah, skunk, Big Feet. That would be the plural.
plural.
Bigfoot.
Okay.
There are many big feet.
Yeah, because when you say Bigfoots,
I think Bigfoot. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know about. I've never been to Oregon, but I swear to God, I'm scared of the idea that there's like 9 to 12 Bigfoots up in there.
I think Bigfoot's is the proper term. Yeah, not big feet.
Well, if any of you have an
big
opinion on whether it's Bigfoot or Big Feet,
I guess take the time to email.
well, go to the last
I mean-
podcast. Go to the last podcast Facebook page and let us know there.
Big feet sounds like a whole nother creature.
No, he's only got one big foot. He's got 2 big
Well,
feet.
okay, so if you want to make an argument that the whole thing is wrong,
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
it should
I
just
would
be
do
big
that.
feet because
And
he's
I
got 2 big feet.
And I will add that into my super theory.
All right.
till you
well,
even-
it's an ongoing debate then. I'm
I-
going with Bigfoot.
When I release my journals,
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
will see the truth.
No, you're gonna be framed for a crime you didn't commit just because they're so psychotic.
So they go out there with their flashlight. They're looking at the object that is a large glowing ball on the ground, and they see off to the left 2 glowing lights in the trees. They shine their flashlight over, revealing a creature which is said to be at least 10 feet tall, a red face, bulging, non-human eyes, and shaped like either a heart or the ace of spades.
Yeah, people saying it's Ace of Spades, and it looks specifically
Yes.
very artificial. Now, which is really interesting because you're going to hear there's several other sightings of this monster, which we'll hear right now. And apparently this is some sort of costume he was wearing or some sort of protective suit.
Which would make sense, yeah.
Why don't you take some of the other sightings?
Well, the other sightings were basically there was a couple driving. It was a 31-year-old woman and her daughter were driving down the highway near the area where it was originally seen about a week later, and they saw another gigantic 9-foot tall humanoid. They said they were driving, very similar to a UFO story. Blinding light hit the car. They stopped the car. In front of them, through this light and smoke, which began to surround the car, which again they said smelled like mustardy, smelled super sulfury. This creature and a gigantic looked like what we hear and described in the original sighting of the monster. It's like a gigantic metallic skirt.
Yes.
And this thing. Yes, and it said the same thing. This creature came forward. It looked lizard in nature, 9 feet tall. Its hands, the same thing that it described in the first monster. Its hands were just like 2 long digits.
Yeah, two big old fingers there.
Short, stubby arms ending in long, claw-like fingers which protruded from the front of the body.
Yeah,
Sounds like just somebody after an 18-hour rave. You know?
Just body painted
Yeah.
for some woods rave. Yeah, but it was floating on this device, and it came up
Yes.
to their car, touched their car, and apparently created a V burn on the hood of their car and then disappeared.
And the car stopped, right? They had some car troubles?
Yeah.
That was the...
Yeah,
and,
it's a very common UFO scenario.
What is the name of the town again?
This is Braxton County, West Virginia.
I know this
Braxton
isn't-
County. So I'm just going to go on a limb. 31-year-old mother driving with her 21-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
21-year-old daughter. Isn't that interesting? Both of age. Both
But
of age to
this
drink.
is another comment school because you can easily connect this to the Mothman sightings because Mothman, same exact thing, coal town, giant
But now-
glowing red eyes, huge 9-foot tall creature, and there's
But he could fly. He didn't need this
he can
vehicle
fly,
to get around.
But there's a connection to the two that I think a lot comes from like the poisonous gases coming out of the mountains just randomly.
Well, that's my favorite thing about it. This guy would just get everybody super messed up on this on these inhalants.
Mustard gas is what they
Mustard
said
gas.
it smelled like.
Yeah, because the people who originally saw the Flatwoods monster got incredibly sick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they said even later on in that Monster Quest episode on about the Flatwoods monster, they basically said like everybody who was involved in the original sightings had been dying of cancer.
But the thing is, it's a very old sighting, and I have a feeling these people all chain
They were
smoked,
gonna get
and there was a
cancer
lot
anyway.
of whiskey, and
Yeah.
they all died. It seems to be natural causes.
But
It's all coal mines. I mean, there is a very rational explanation for the Flatwoods monster.
they all died of lung and throat cancer.
Yeah, asteroid, owl,
They keep saying this
coal
owl
fumes.
though. That's the thing that I don't understand.
What do you mean? Explain this owl thing.
They said that the way they have explained off the Flatwoods monster is that it's this chain of
Oh, it's an
events.
owl.
Is that they saw an asteroid, there was a fire in the forest, and then they saw a big old owl, and it shined their lights on it in the and they have a thing called expectant perception, I believe is the term, where like they use in cryptozoology, which is this idea that like if you are told that you're going to see shit, and if like, well, it's because the Mothman was also happening, or not like nearish to the same time, and these stories have happened all over the country for forever, and so it's like you're expecting to see something, so maybe you'll take the vision of an owl that you shined a flashlight on and make it into a giant monster.
Expectant reality.
Not
huh?
only that, but in 1952, this was when aliens and UFOs were all
They were
over
big.
movies. They were all over comic books, television. These kids, they see something flying out of the sky. Remember, they're children.
Yeah.
And then they
Well, they
will
weren't
see
that
what
young.
they want to see.
They were in their teens.
Yeah, they were in their teens, but still, these are the types of kids that are going to be seeing that type of stuff. And the short, type of protruding limbs with claws, it's owl claws.
Yeah, but how
I
big an
don't
owl
know.
is it?
Yeah, I mean that's
Owls
the
can
thing.
get pretty big.
They can't get 9 feet.
I mean, they can't. Well, if they're up top and you see if they're on top of, say, a bush or something like that, because it was also described as being green in nature, the actual pleated skirt. It could be.
So an owl sitting on top of a bush.
How am I the one that is being
Isn't that
portrayed as crazy right now?
interesting?
I'm just saying it just sounds crazy that just some owl's going to be around in the forest.
I've seen a lot of
I go in the
owls. I've
forest.
never thought it was the Flatwood monster.
Not even once.
Not at all. But you never know.
But these stories have been told for years and
Of
years
course.
and years, and so we could probably hop from that to the Mothman,
Of course, the Mothman.
which is just that we've. When did Mothman start?
1966.
Yeah, 1966. So, and this is again West
Yeah.
Virginia. I mapped it. It's about an hour from Flatwoods, and so it's the same area again. A town sitting on, and that's specifically Point Pleasant, right? Point Pleasant was sitting on a coal waste dump. Like underneath the ground, they dumped all this the waste products from the coal mine into the water supply.
Yeah,
so
that's
they've
good.
been getting poisoned for a while.
So they were just seeing things.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you get poisoned for 20 years, you get used to it.
Oh, absolutely.
So why
you build
are
up
you
a
seeing
tolerance.
shit now,
sure.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, until the cancer comes.
Well, and the cancer's going to come for us all anyway.
Most likely, yeah. Massive heart attack as well. That's a very good possibility. We don't know though. Going back to Flatwoods real quick, we don't know where the smoke came from, and everyone does seem to think that was a real phenomenon.
It just sounds like the smoke is a part of what made you see the thing. Is that it's probably some fart from a mountain of poisonous coal gas.
It was
and
a mountain
came
fart.
out, and it made everybody just go like, oh.
Yeah. The impact of the asteroid upon the ground could have expelled some sort of gas because there are asteroids falling on record on that day at that time in that area.
Oh, so that's it.
Yeah.
Unless it came from the asteroid.
That's a very, very good possibility.
No, it's
though.
It's an asteroid and a big owl. That's all it is.
All right. A lot of smoke though.
I'm going to take a look at the evidence again and decide for myself if it's not the Blackwood fucking monster's real or not.
Oh, you mean the children's drawings?
Yeah.
well, they're very well done.
Very creepy.
Yeah, they're creepy as shit.
I like the way you describe, how that's just the earth farting, so like a geyser, oh, it's the earth taking a big piss. And then like a volcano was like, oh, it just got shits.
I'm not a scientist.
Right. That's the earth taking a big shit. And then you're like, you're a bad father.
The volcano, he must have had some spicy food.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a spicy shit to me. Oh.
So instead of us really getting into the Mothman,
Because we covered the Mothman before.
Yes.
Everybody knows it. And so, real brief, a bunch of Mothman sightings happened, and then a bridge collapsed outside of this Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and they believed it became this harbinger of bad news.
Well, in reality, the bridge collapsed because of bad government.
Yeah,
Government.
I mean, it's
That's why
West
the bridge
Virginia.
the infrastructure in this country is not doing well.
not nailing it. No.
But let us go to the land of the Bard.
Yes. I want to hear. Well, I love doing this when we're researching topics that we've already covered. It's like, let's see what the Mothman has inspired.
Yeah.
So let's hear some music that is Mothman based.
It's surprisingly good music.
Every artist has one story to tell.
Right.
That's what I always heard from ancient times.
Eric Clapton has a dead son. Let's tell the story.
Let's tell the story over and over and
We'll
over and
make
over
all the
and
money
over
in the
again.
world. Yeah.
But this is a couple of tales, a couple of discretionary songs invented from the folklore of the Mothman.
I mean, the reality of the Mothman, though.
West Virginia, Point Pleasant.
Oh, man.
1966.
Yeah.
The arrival of
Oh, man, I want to finger pop Jenny so bad. I love this. Oh, man, you ever read the lyrics to this song? This is my favorite 3-page lyric.
man, you want to huff some fucking shit from this Cheese Whiz can?
This is great. If you close your eyes, you can almost see the Mothman.
Is this Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young?
And Mothman.
Well, this is wonderful. As much as we love this,
Yeah, what's the name of
is
this
absolutely
band?
wonderful. This is Dwindling Human Conscious.
Dwindling human conscious.
And this is Mothman Song, version 2.
Wow.
The version 1 was acoustic, and it was very pretty. He had his girlfriend on tambourine, and she called it the tambourine, but it was just a dried beans in a jar that she'd shake.
Yeah, that's fine. That's normal.
And this is a metal style, which, you expect that from a Mothman, an urban legend type thing. You expect
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah, definitely.
All of us like metal.
Mothman
We're
loves
all
metal,
into it.
too.
Mothman loves metal.
You better wary bringing him out, because Mothman will bring bad luck, and then and make sure that your guitarist doesn't really know how to play guitar, because these guys are experts.
Oh, this
You
is
don't wanna
amazing.
tinge
This
this skill.
is one guy. This is one guy in his bedroom.
Oh, he's like
Absolutely.
Kid
This is
Rock.
one- this
He
is
does
one
it.
guy
He
in his
does it
bedroom.
all. Huh? He plays all the instruments.
I've recorded songs like this in my bedroom before, and it's this is pretty much what it sounds like.
It's powerful.
about Becky.
It's called Mothman version 2.
No, it was about scissors. My song.
What was it about?
Scissors.
Scissors. Okay.
All right, this song's starting to hurt
this
my
song's
brain.
yeah. So let's move on to another style
Very good
of
song,
music.
though.
This is just called the Mothman song.
This is kind of sexy, though.
yeah, it's a woman is involved.
Ooh,
All right,
okay.
let's check this out.
Oh, wow, yeah. This looks, sounds like CNC Music Factory.
Right as we speak, I looked outside my window just to take a peek. I saw something in the sky way up high. I saw something fall. I saw something tall. I saw
Is it me?
something
I kind of like
Oh,
it.
not me.
I saw something look back. I saw something.
Yeah, way to go, Melissa Starfall.
Right
Yeah, I like
Melissa
her YouTube
Starfall.
channel.
This is pretty sweet.
This is good. It's got sort of a Peaches vibe as well.
Yeah.
I think it's the exact beat from.
This is pretty sweet. I want to put this up on the Facebook page. I think this will make people start making out.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I think.
I put it on my iPod. Can I just say that I actually did put it through a converter to an MP3 and I put it on my iPod?
That's normal, yeah.
You gon' break it high. You know when you're high, you start saying things.
Okay, now
that's
she's just
true.
saying it breaks down.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, and then she starts talking about getting high, which is great. We all love getting high.
That's right. And there were some truth to those lyrics. When you get high, you do start seeing things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
She's not lying.
Absolutely.
You
It just
know?
so happens to be through the entire West Virginia area. You can get high just by walking through the forest.
It seems
because there's so
that
much
way.
toxic gas
Sucking on
just
the ground,
flying
yeah.
through there.
Don't eat the grass. Don't do that whatsoever.
Well, let's move over to Michigan.
Okay.
For one of my favorites, the Melonheads.
I love
the
it.
melon
Again,
heads.
another possible slur that
Yes.
you can contribute to any race that you want. A lot of this, I think, is, again, they just saw somebody with a different shaped head
Yep, a lot
and
of that.
freaked out.
I'm just trying to think what race would go well with the melon head.
I'm not
And
going to
it-
say.
I mean, it's up for you to decide.
The
You're
Irish.
eye of the
You know, maybe
I
it's the
know
Irish.
it's always the Irish. They have the huge heads. I didn't want to say. I was thinking the Irish, but I feel like we harp on
No,
the Irish.
Scottish
so much.
people have big heads.
Scottish.
I'm Scottish. I have a big
Okay,
head.
well then you can say it.
Yeah.
And
that's
I was
fine.
actually turned on to this by a listener.
Yes.
Yeah, PJ Griffin sent a wonderful email to cavecomedyradio@gmail.com.
And we love this story so much.
And the story's great. So
Melonheads.
here's what we know about the Melonheads. According to one story from Michigan, they were originally children with hydrocephalus who lived at the Junction Insane Asylum near Felt
This is
Mansion.
my
Now,
question. Yeah, what is hydrocephalus?
Hydrocephalus
That's the one that-
it's a condition in which there's too much water
Yeah.
in your head, and your head is
This
gigantic.
is literally where the term waterhead baby comes
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
And what they would do
I
is
never heard
this
the
is
term
what
waterhead baby.
You've never heard of waterhead?
Yeah,
No.
it's a term for. I mean, they use it for all mentally disabled people. But this is if you ever see
I thought
Cropsy.
they were called potato heads.
Well, you could call them anything you,
You know,
want to.
once
really.
again, it's a regional thing.
yes, it's all
Yeah,
about
like some
regional
people
things.
have Wawas, some people have, Albertsons.
Quick
Yeah.
trips.
Yeah.
There was, I'll tell you, growing up, there was a great gas station called Kickapoo. Kickapoo gas station. We would laugh and
I
laugh
bet.
and laugh, and it was great times. The documentary Cropsy, they show the original footage of Geraldo Rivera. This is the story that broke him when he went into the insane asylum. If you want to see waterhead is just so much easier to remember than the technical term.
Hydrocephalus.
Hydrocephalus. If you
yeah.
want to see what these kids look like, they're all in the background sitting in their own fecal matter and sitting in their own urine, and they just shake back and forth, and it's real tough for them
we'll
to fall
see.
over.
It sounds like they did a lot more than shake back and forth in this story.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They eventually, after much physical and emotional abuse, they became feral mutants.
Yes,
And
good
were
for them.
loosed into the forest where they eventually settled in underground caves.
So they just let these feral big heads out into the forest?
Pretty much.
They were like, you know
It's
what?
like when you put the code in on NBA Jam, and then like, all the players just have the massive
were
melon.
they just like taking extras at the food line? Why send them out to the forest?
I think they're very difficult to deal with. They always sound like they're splashing around. They're like getting seasick just being around them. It's very
I gotta
bizarre.
take Dramamine just to do
Yeah.
a therapy session with
I always
Bingo
got to piss when Bingo's around. It just sounds like water's running all the time. But this is interesting because this is the first example.
Someone take all those human snow globes and put them out in the forest.
Don't shake them up too much. It makes their brains. all wild
Yeah,
and
so,
goofy.
so they're hanging out in the forest.
But this is interesting though, because this is the first monster that is actually does stem from a real human.
It's just a disability.
There's a disability.
Yeah.
But there does seem to be a supernatural transformation that goes along
It's
with
like
it.
someone who's unreasonably afraid of Michael J. Fox, of just being like, oh, I can't go anywhere near that jumping bean, man.
Yes, of course, with I believe he has palsy or
Parkinson's.
Parkinson's.
Yeah, it would be Parkinson's.
That ain't no
disease.
Parkinson's. That's the devil's fever.
Yes, what makes you shake a little bit, and you get a sitcom. So that's actually not bad. I'd sell my soul for that.
There are other versions of the story that say that the hydrocephalic babies, the melonheads, devised a plot to kill the evil doctor that was causing them all this pain, and they didn't know where to put the body, so they just cut him up and had pieces of him all
Which I
around.
don't understand, because
sense.
Bingo and Bongo are sitting around there going, me like, I don't understand what the doctor just won't put a faucet in my fucking forehead.
Put a faucet in it. Yeah.
Get
Oh
to
my
that
God.
water,
Well,
man.
if it wasn't for those goddamn melon heads, this whole place would have burnt down. But we managed to put a faucet through their head, and they hosed down the entire insane asylum, so we're saved. Thank you, melon heads.
Over in Ohio.
This is an actual slur, by the way.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
it really is.
Okay.
Over
Just
in
wanna clarify.
Ohio, there's another version of the story that says that the melonheads were created by an evil scientist named Dr. Crow,
Oh, okay.
also called Dr. Trubano or Dr. Melonhead.
Dr. Melonhead.
And that's
Oh,
where the
man.
name came from, of course, absolutely. And these are my melonheads.
So it's sort of
I
like a
named them after
Frankenstein
myself.
situation. Yeah.
But the other thing, so
Who's going to Dr. Melonhead? What disease do you have to go to Dr. Melonhead for
you got a
anything?
big head.
You got a big head, or do you go in with a normal size head and he pumps you full of liquid and then you got a big head when you come out?
I just hate to
it
see.
said that that's what Dr. Melonhead did, is that he took some children who were normal and
Right.
he made them hydrocephalic, and the Melonheads, the actual kids who were already hydrocephalic, pumped even more liquid into
You
their
know what,
heads
this
and
is
made
the-
the heads even bigger.
This is just the era before the Culligan Man. This is before they would deliver water coolers to a living room and you just had to have a human water cooler.
I will also see, I can see also now between Dr. Melonhead and these melonheads just running around
Yeah.
inside of the insane asylum, their hat bill must have been out of control.
Insane. It's not one size
You
fits
had-
all,
you
is
had
it?
to release him to the forest.
Yeah, no fitted caps there. Can you imagine if these human melon heads were just used as the water fountain and all the water fountain conversation just would have to be about them?
Just one prohibition themed party just bankrupts the entire hospital.
It's not good.
All the fedoras you have to
Oh
buy.
my goodness.
You know?
Oh yeah, they can't dress like a 1920s flapper or a 1920s
We
businessman.
can't- It's a rail thin society in the 1920s. We can't get the dresses over their big melon heads.
This is insane.
So now, so what are the
Maybe
modern
squeeze 'em.
sightings of melon heads?
The modern sightings, well, I mean, it's kind of an
I think
urban
the
legend.
G-Train. The G-Train has a lot of melon heads.
no. The real melon heads.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. The
It's
scary
a
one.
teenager type thing. They go to the one that I mentioned
I
earlier.
love this story.
Felt Mansion. Which story would that be that you
of-
have in mind?
So a group, one story is apparently you see them often on the sides of dirt roads. Again, like frogmen, they just hang out.
Yeah.
And like so the story is a group of teenagers went to go like necking out in the woods, and like these boys were like out looking for like scary shit to like scare their girlfriends. So
Right.
they're driving into the forest. They went down this dirt road. They pulled off. They all got out to like, I guess I never did the thing where I made out with my girlfriend with a bunch of other dudes. Like I never did a group fuck with all my high school friends.
I mean, you
group
could just
fuck, it's
stop
a
that
group
sentence.
makeout.
It's disgusting, but you could argue you just never made out with your girlfriend. You know, but everyone else
I made out with my girlfriend in high school so hard her face was flat.
really.
Yeah.
The flat,
sorry.
the flat
That was
face
weird.
monster of wherever you're from.
So we
Astoria, right?
they were making out, and apparently they're all hanging, and they heard their car engine revving,
Uh-oh.
and they looked and saw 4 melon heads in the car driving around the forest, chanting and hollering at them. Like that is
So,
like total,
all right. Do these do they have a Confederate flag hat on as well with a T-shirt that has
like
Ted
legitimately,
Nugent?
like they saw.
So the
saw
melon
them
heads
steal
stole their car.
Yes, and so
Yeah.
they looked at it. They literally just saw melons go like, "Hey, fuck you, hey, fuck you."
So the flatwood monster is, knocking people out with a gas.
The
and,
strange Connecticut Valley Mexican.
yes. stealing the car, driving it all around. These melon heads, they seem like we actually have real evidence here. They're real.
And there's a couple other sightings of it. It's just big head kids.
Yeah, well, what they say
Big
about
head
Connecticut,
kids.
because that sighting was in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
So what they say where the melonheads come from in Connecticut is that, of course, they were turned out once again. They did not develop hydrocephalus just as they were going out into the world, but because they resorted to cannibalism and because of inbreeding, they eventually developed hydrocephalus.
I see.
Is that
It's sort of like
cause of hydrocephalus?
Nah, I don't know what I mean, there's all sorts of things.
I think they're just
inbreeding
making up a
causes.
bunch of myths so they don't have to treat them like people. That's probably what's happening here. But that's okay. As a matter of fact, we got a couple of amazing emails this week, and another one was from a gal who works at the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, and email us back and let us know what's going on here with these melonheads.
Yeah, are you guys making the melonheads?
Are you making them?
Is Dr. Melonhead working for the
Oh,
CDC?
yes, he is,
We are
Doctor.
getting into this.
I know. You know, this
What if
podcast.
Dr. Melonhead's another thing for Mengele?
It's
like
very
Dr.
possible.
Green.
It's very, very possible.
Well, these
Dr.
were
Mengele,
these are
Dr.
post-World War II
Melonhead.
stories.
That's true. And he
Very
was in
possible.
America doing something. Well, he was in Argentina, but his double was in America doing all the MK Ultra stuff, so he could have been making melonheads.
Yeah, and if you say it like that, it so sounds true.
Yeah.
You know, it so sounds true. I love it.
So I mentioned
melonheads.
cannibalism.
Yes.
No, this is a great story.
This is my favorite.
I love this.
Okay.
And Marcus will lead this up. I also love this idea because in these rural areas, cannibalism happened a lot. Like, especially in the Adirondacks and places where you had like
cold.
very condensed communities that were not necessarily connected to cosmopolitan areas. If there was like an epidemic or something happened, these people, like massive groups of people would die. And then you just have people living on the remains because they can't get
Sure.
to the food.
I mean, you know, that's
They're snowed in. If they're like,
must
if
be
there was a
weird
rock
to just
fall,
look at. Yeah, it must be weird to just like look at a group of dead people or like alive people that are about to die and just be like future buffet, like future buffet food right there.
Ooh, yeah,
love
that's gonna be my daily value meal on fucking Wednesday. I'm
Oh,
having
yeah.
some Mrs. Henderson.
What's the best part of the human body to eat? Do we know?
But
The butt.
The butt is the best part.
Absolutely
the butt.
Even on a
Yeah.
Zabrowski?
even not well.
Look at this fine meat I got right
You got
here.
no. That's
This
your
strip-
thigh. That's
this
your
strip
thigh.
right here from right under my balls to my knee. That's a filet mignon. You got right over here. I got thick rib meat.
You don't have to lift up
I'm
your
just
shirt.
saying, look at it.
Henry
If you
is.
wanna
I don't want to
look
look
at
at it, Henry.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. You're always lifting up your shirt.
So don't tell me I'm not good to eat. I'm a person that I'm a prime suspect.
I said your butt wasn't good to eat. Your entire body is amazing. I would love to see it, General Sal Zabrowski.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be great with the
I'd
whole
be afraid to
series.
eat you.
Well,
Because you're all
absolutely.
long and your meat's going to be all fucking stiff.
And marbled because of my ups and downs with weight. Which,
actually, that
is that
sounds
good
good.
or bad to have marbled meat?
It depends on your preference.
no, that's Kobe beef.
I'm a
beef
Kobe
is
Kissel beef.
Finally, the fat is littered through because it's been massaged for so long.
Oh, and yes, I've been massaged.
See, I'm just stringy. I'd be like eating a rabbit.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, you got to kill someone like Jackie, my sister.
Jackie
Hack
Zabrowski.
her up, eat her. That'd
Yeah,
be great.
she'd be good. She'd be good.
So let's go to the best cannibalistic regional monster of all, the Wendigo.
Yeah.
Also known as Wendigo, Wendago, Wendigo, Wendiga, Wetiko, Wetako, and Manaha.
Well, isn't that something?
Are these all car brands?
The 2007 Manaha.
Manaha. That's great. 4-door. Not bad.
So the Wendigo is a demonic half-beast creature. It appears in the legends of the Algonquin people on the Atlantic coast and the Great Lakes region
You know,
of both Canada and America.
I take issue with the term half beast. If it's something's a half beast, that's a full beast.
Yeah,
Well,
if
like,
you're-
people like centaurs,
if
like
you're-
half beast. I'm looking at the whole thing. The whole thing's a beast.
If you're any part beast,
You're all beast.
yeah, you're beast.
It's like they say, if you mix 5 pounds of ice cream with 5 pounds of shit, you get 10 pounds of shit.
Yeah,
That's right.
That is a great saying.
I never heard that ever. But
You
yes,
never heard that?
no,
It's applicable to many things in life.
I've just never worked at a scatological cold stone before.
Ah, yes, of course. The scatological cold stone. Gatstone.
The Wendigo could be one of two things. It is either an evil spirit that possesses a human,
Okay.
or it could be what a human becomes after eating the remains
Again,
of another human.
Very similar to the Skinwalker stories as well.
Yeah.
But this is true. Once
This is
you eat-
also another Native American legend.
once you do go cannibal and you start eating and dining on all of your greatest friends and peers, you do begin to go insane.
What region is this mostly located around?
Mostly the Great Lakes region, places where it gets very cold very fast, and there's a lot of snow because where
And
this
people
comes
used to
from-
freeze to death constantly.
It's very much a cautionary tale. This is one of the only ones that we see as far as regional monsters go, because regional monsters aren't really cautionary tales as much as urban legends
Yeah.
are. They're just more fun. However,
Yeah.
the Wendigo is very much a cautionary tale because apparently there were so many people eating each other in this time in history in this Native American tribe that they had to create a legend to keep people from doing it, because a lot of these people,
Like what
they
we
would
did
get-
with Jesus Christ.
Exactly like what we did
Or
with
what the
Jesus Christ.
Zabrowski house did with the Cocoa Puff monster. And they said, if you eat all the Cocoa Puffs, then the monster comes. And he watches you sleep all
there's
night.
the Cocoa Puff monster here.
Well, do we have any more Cocoa Puffs? Oh, we do? No, he's not here because we have Cocoa Puffs left.
I don't even bring up the Cocoa Puff monster around me.
It said when the Wendigo ate someone, it would grow in proportion to the meal it had just eaten.
Oh.
However, it would never be full. So Wendigos were simultaneously gluttonous and emaciated. They were always hungry, yet always growing.
Also,
Oh,
very
that's my dream.
like a zombie story as well.
yes.
It also sounds like a Pomeranian, if I may say so
I
myself.
don't want any of your dog nanny
a
humor
Pomeranian
in this show.
They just eat and they eat and they eat and they never get full.
And of
That's
course,
something.
once a person tasted human flesh, they would immediately be consumed with the hunger. They would develop these
Yeah.
violent thoughts. There was a reason why this legend was in place.
Yes,
They
it's to
didn't
keep you from
just-
doing it.
Yeah.
Don't eat Sadie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, don't eat Becky.
But the meat would be so well preserved. It's freezing cold in these Great Lake communities. I mean, I feel like I
Well, a
can
lot of
see
people-
the temptation.
But
Yeah.
even in stories of other tribes from other areas, you know, the Mayans did a lot of cannibalism. In Africa, there was a lot of cannibalism. There's a lot of places where that happened, and there is diseases associated with eating human meat.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So before the heroin epidemic of the 70s, the crack epidemic of the 80s, it was the cannibalism epidemic in this
the
Native American
1550s, yeah.
The 1550s.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a
very, very
stretch.
similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get addicted to it after your first bite, after your first smoke or toke, and then you go absolutely insane and you'll do whatever it takes to get it, including murdering your fellow man.
It was said in these cultures, in the northern Algonquin cultures, that cannibalism, even to save one's life, you absolutely could not do it. And if there was some sort of famine,
disagree.
because famine would come across quite often in these harsh areas, they would either whole tribes would commit suicide rather than eat their fellow man,
This is- I didn't even
know the
or they
Algonquins
would
had
just
a pair of
resign
Nikes.
themselves to death.
I would have just, I would have been so bad back in the tribal times. Because they're all talking about, it's like, we must commit suicide in order to keep the honor of our people. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey guys, how about we just do like a sit brunch? How about we do a brunch?
You want a brunch, huh?
Let's have a sit. We'll do a brunch and we'll check in. Like I made these things. I invented this thing. It's called a pig in a blanket is what I'm calling it.
Yeah, that is your shit wrapped in a leaf.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess if you mix 5 pounds of shit with 5 pounds of pig in the blanket, all you get is 10 pounds of shit.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you
That's
absolutely
true.
do.
You can
But
really do that
however-
with anything. You can mix
Yeah.
anything with shit, and then it's just shit. I mean, I would actually argue 1 pound of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a
It's just
quarter
a
pound.
tiny piece of shit.
Yeah, you're ruined.
I don't even want to accidentally eat the tiniest
No,
little
I know it. It
size-
gets all mixed up in there.
Yeah, no.
Starts
I don't
hiding.
even, not a chance for it.
Yeah.
I even have a hard time when I'm brushing my teeth after I've taken a big old dump in the bathroom because I know the shit poo-poo flakes is all over my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they just stay there. They don't go away.
What?
Yeah. Well, no, his poo-poo flakes might get up and leave. I don't know.
I play a flute and they follow me down the hallway out to the outside.
The
and
poo-poo king.
I throw them at a homeless man.
That's great.
What I find very interesting about the Wendigo is that it is the only urban legend or the only monster that has actually, the things that people say about it have actually found their way into psychology in what is known as Wendigo psychosis.
Interesting.
However, I mean, a lot of people say they have debunked it, but it is documented many times that people, once they get that taste for human flesh, they don't want to stop. It's all they want.
Well, yeah, you get keyed into the sort of the primalism of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. So our final two here with the melon heads and the Wendigos, these are real phenomena. These are actually things that existed.
Well, they're based on something or another. Like the Melonhead sounds like a combo of an urban legend and what is just seems to be a huge fear of people with disabilities.
Yes,
and this is more like don't eat each other.
God, I would love to see some melon heads in the Special Olympics just running there.
Just stealing like all the judges' cars and stuff, riding them around the parking lot.
I mean, there must be a great skill. What would be the perfect Olympic skill for a melon head?
Synchronized swimming.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, that's ideal.
Bobbling at the top of the thing because their head is the same density as the water.
Yeah, that's true. You can't drown.
They come in groups. Bobsledding.
That was the biggest mistake with the Titanic. Not enough melon heads on there.
That's what you got to do. You got a bunch of melon heads for any ship from here on out. So because you could just tie them to the bows, and if the shit's going down, it just keeps it up.
You could do that, and if everybody dies, you want somebody to tell the tale, and it'll be like a weird like melon head tale.
Yeah, but I love these regional monsters. And we were saying we have flagons more.
Oh yeah, and flagons. And you know what else? There is I have an actual documented case of Wendigo psychosis. So what Wendigo psychosis is actually defined as is eating human flesh when there are other foods readily available. You choose to eat human flesh over other foods.
Yeah.
A man named Swift Runner, a Plains Cree trapper from Alberta, Canada.
He wasn't like Italian from Brooklyn?
He does sound like he's wearing a tracksuit.
In 1878, this guy, Swift Runner, butchered and ate his wife and his 5 children, although there was a food storage only 25 miles away, which he could have.
Come on.
He could have made it.
He's a Swift Runner, but he's not a long distance guy.
I guess that's just his version of DiGiorno.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of just making the 25-mile trip, which he could have done, he opted to just kill his wife and children, ate all of them, every single one of them. They did not find him until spring came. They didn't realize his crime. They didn't find out about his crime. And he eventually confessed and was executed by authorities at Fort Saskatchewan.
So it's illegal. Isn't that wild?
It's so weird because I feel like if you make your kids, shouldn't it be legal to eat them?
I mean, this is sort of a Bill Cosby joke on very true. I don't think you should be allowed
into this world. I can take you out. Yeah,
and I'm going to take you out by eating the shit out of you.
I just feel like if kids to me, it's like I made my own little rump roasts.
Yeah,
anytime I want, they just happen to grow up into people.
I'd say up until the age of 5.
Do you kill
after they go to school? You can't eat them anymore.
Okay.
You can't eat them. Okay,
because then they have a registry and some sort of book somewhere.
So I guess you kill them all at once, or do they just like slowly start to realize that like their brother is gone and like your dad's like super happy and full, but slower, getting like Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
That's a problem. The only way I can imagine killing my whole family is to be like, there's a surprise birthday party in the shed for mommy. And they're like, we didn't even know it's mommy's birthday. And it'd be like, everyone go out to the shed. And then I just line the whole shed with dynamite and then it's popped it off, but you can't get good food out of that.
That's
right.
Just straight
that's
up
just
murder.
That's just mayhem.
Well, that just sounds really premeditated. That sounds like that was just not off the cuff. You've thought about that for a little while.
It's the old shit blowing up the shed trick.
Yeah,
that's what I do every time.
Yeah, that's good.
There's so many regional monsters.
So many.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. Well, we could do 9 episodes of these.
Yeah. I mean, in the future, we'll get to the Jersey Devil. We'll get to the Dover Demon. There's so many things.
The Dover Demon.
It was the beast of...
The beast of...
Yeah, which is just a giant cat. Yeah, there's giant cats.
It's a real big cat.
There's also flying people, which is a big phenomenon. Like people just fly in the air. You see that a lot in like South America and Africa. There's like a lot of, but that's international, and that's a whole other kettle of monsters.
Yeah, it'll be the beast of Bladenboro.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dental dam,
But it's fun that we did. And so
scary.
I'd like to give a shout out to Atomic Cotton, who saw me wearing a T-shirt of theirs.
You make it sound like it's Atomic Cotton, the company.
Yeah.
Wonderful T-shirt company.
It's awesome, and they saw me wearing a T-shirt of theirs on Best Week Ever.
And what was the T-shirt?
Of the Human Centipede oeuvre,
okay.
which I loved. And I just want to
great.
say thank you to them. Go buy shirts from them and tell them that you're from us.
Is it just AtomicCotton.com?
AtomicCotton.com. It's a mom and pop from Kansas. It's awesome. They make their own shirts, and it's good shirts. It stands the tests of me wriggling around in them.
Absolutely. If it's strong enough for Henry Zabrowski, it's strong enough for anybody on the face of the planet, and dare I say, And a wolverine as well? Like any sort of bat creature or winged beast could probably wear
Yeah,
it.
they could dress all of those.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, in Wolverine's very first appearance, he battled Wendigo.
Whoa! Wow.
That is
Very
great.
nice.
The Incredible Hulk 177.
Oh,
Wow, you knew that.
Stop that. It's good that he knew that.
I think it's 177. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
You know how to blow up your family in a shed, and he knows about comic books.
Yeah.
That did remind me of the scene from The Burbs, that great Tom Hanks movie at the end, of course, when they...
181. Sorry.
181. You idiot, Marcus! You idiot! What a moron! No one's going to love you now. But instead of bones coming from the chimney, like the end of The Burbs, the Zabrowski flesh and lard, the fat that would come from the chimney there, you know. You just
I just don't
imagine
want
what that would look like.
I just want to steer clear of that.
We're
Cocoa Puff
1,000
monster.
people massacred in this shed? No, 3 Zabrowskis. Well, there's enough meat around here to fill a small army. All right. Well, we must wrap it up.
Yes, we must.
And we're going to do a 2-parter on this at some point.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to do
yeah.
nine of these.
Actually, this is the second one of these that we've done.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, episode 25 was a Regional Monsters episode.
Yeah, we did Mothman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, we just branded it Mothman. That's awesome. All right.
No, we actually branded it Regional Monsters.
Regional Monster.
Well, whatever. Jesus Christ. All right. Any other plugs?
No.
Very good.
No. If you guys didn't know, me and Ben also run a politics podcast called Abe Lincoln's Top
Oh, yeah.
Hat. You can find that on Cave Comedy Radio, and we also do the Round Table of Gentlemen.
Always
which is
check it
also
out.
on Cave Comedy Radio. Henry's on that one every once in a while.
That's
and we
right.
found lately that a lot of people who like last podcast fucking love the Round Table of Gentlemen.
That's right.
And Abe Lincoln's Top Hat.
Yeah.
If you dig politics, if you got a mind for that.
Yeah,
It's nice.
it dips its toe in politics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's more.
yeah,
it's just it's goofiness.
Yeah.
It's all goofiness.
Well, hail Satan to
Hail
everyone.
Satan,
Hail.
everybody. Hail yourselves, and yeah, I guess we'll just talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Magustalations.
Oh yeah, Magustalations. Now we haven't said Magustalations in too long.
I say it every year. Every week.
Yeah. As I always say, Heil Geen.
Hail me!
That's right. That's right. And go to atomiccotton.com and get your new shirts.
Yeah.
Boy,
we
that-
landed this one on the harbor.
Boy, that chopper shirt is really nice.
Oh, you want one of the shirts?
That chopper shirt
What's the chopper shirt?
is really nice.
Oh yeah, I know the shirt. Henry and Marcus are fighting over
Size
t-shirts.
medium.
It's a good knife.
All right, everyone. Hail yourselves. We'll talk to you soon.